Good morning, everyone. Welcome to exercises that prevent frozen shoulders, torn rotator cuffs, and low back pain. If you sit around a lot, or maybe repeat the same movement over and over and over again, let's say you're a golfer or you have a certain job that requires you to do the same movement over and over and over again. Anyway, those are the main two reasons why people get frozen shoulders or torn rotator cuffs and low back problems. So these exercises will help. Just practice them every day or as often as you can. Today's warm-up is going to involve 3 exercises. The first one is the owl. I want you to grab a hold of your shoulder with your fingers in the palm of your hand and give it a good squeeze. Bring some blood into the trapezius muscle that covers your shoulder and goes into your neck. And then when you're ready, I want you to turn your head slowly and look into the squeeze and hold it for 3, 2, 1. Gently look all the way over to the other side, away from the squeeze, and count 3, 2, 1. Back to center, and then look up and count 3, 2, 1. And then slowly look all the way down, put your chin on your chest, and count 3, 2, 1. And relax at center. Good. Do a little shrug. Push your shoulders up to your ears. And then grab a hold of the other shoulder with the palm of your hand and your fingers. Trapezius muscle. We want to get blood into the trapezius muscle. So we're going to look very slowly. We're going to turn our head and look into the squeeze and count 3, 2, 1. And then look away from the squeeze, way over to the other side. 3, 2, 1. And then come to center and look up. And then all the way down, chin to the chest. Good. Relax for a second. All right. I want you to grab a hold of that shoulder again on the other side and give it a squeeze. And then I want you to look way up into the far left corner. And then look across to the other side. I call that the rainbow. And then look back. And then look down and around to the other side and draw your happy face. And then go back the way you came. And then one more all the way around the top and down the bottom and make the full moon. Very slowly, and then go the other way. And back to where you started. Good. Relax. Let's just do a shoulder shrug again. This time we're going to push down with our palms and shrug the opposite way. Okay, good. Now we're going to take our hand and bring it over top of our head and grab a hold of the ear and then pull this ear to this shoulder. But stand up tall. Try not to lean with your hips. Just stand up tall and pull. If you have any pain at all, ease off. And it's about a 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. Relax. Let's grab the other ear over top of the shoulder and pull down. 3, 2, 1. Good. And then one more. I'm just going to turn my head not all the way over to that shoulder, just halfway. And then I'm going to look down, bring my chin to my chest. So I'm sort of halfway to the left or the right, whatever way you're going to first, and look down. And it's about a 3, 2, 1, and then slowly come back up, go to center, go halfway this way, and look down, chin to the chest. And come back up, center. Let's bring our shoulders forward and round out our back. Just a 3, 2, 1. Good. And then just back to neutral and push our shoulder blades together and push our shoulders back. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to do exercise number 2 for the warm-up. It's cruising down the river. So we're going to pretend we've got a paddle. We're not going to use the big stick today. We're just going to pretend we've got a paddle here. Our legs are shoulder width apart, and we're going to kayak our way down the river with this kind of a shoulder movement. So we're standing up nice and tall, feet shoulder width apart. We've got a hold of a paddle. We're in the river. Maybe it's the Grand River, and we're kayaking down the river. Oh, I see a rock ahead, so we're going to back paddle to get the kayak away from the rock. Good. That's the kayak. Now we're going to put our feet together, and we're going to grab a hold of our canoe paddle, and we're going to bring it vertical alongside the canoe and do a little bit of a squat, push your knees forward, and then skim across, horizontal across the water, and then the paddle comes right down beside our canoe, and a nice big stroke to the back, and then horizontal across the water. And if you paddle in your canoe like this, and you don't go to the other side, you'll go around in a circle, right? So let's go the other way. So we're going to come vertical, close to the canoe, horizontal back across the water. I'm doing a little baby squat, pushing my knees together the best I can and sitting into the chair that isn't there while I canoe down the river. And one more. And then we're going to use the mountain pose. We're going to take 1 foot in front and one on both sides. It's pointing straight ahead. The other one with the heels lined up on the same board there is a 45-degree angle. Okay? Row down the river. So we're going to push forward and pull back. So let's push with our palms forward and pull back. The knee at front here goes right over top of our foot. So I'm just going to check that. Yep, the knee's over top of my toes there. So I'm pushing and pulling. I call this the rowboat. We'll row down the river like this. And when we come back with our arms, our shoulder blades come together, right? The best we can anyway. Just do one more. Okay, let's row on the other side. So 1 foot straight ahead. The other one's a 45-degree angle. Feet apart a little bit. We push with our palms and pull back. And we row down the river. One more. And then the third exercise in the warm-up is the swim. So we're just sort of standing here in neutral, as tall as we can, feet shoulder width apart, and we're just doing the front crawl in the pool. And of course we have to take a breath, so we turn our head and we breathe, and then we blow out, and then we turn our head to the other side and breathe, and then blow out. So take the breath on the side, and blow out, and then breathe on the side and blow out. That's the front crawl. Let's go backwards. So we're going to leave our feet where they are, and when we go back, we're going to try to get our arms nice and straight. We want them close to the head, and we don't want to move our head. We can move our hips a little bit, but we want to keep our head as still as possible with nice long reaches with the arms, and scoop that water up. We do the backstroke. Good. And now we're going to get our legs really far apart. All right, and we're going to take our arms out here, and we're going to do these butterfly moves as we do a little bit of a squat. This is the hardest stroke for me. I have a lot of trouble with this in the water because my body is going like a dolphin when I do this, and it's hard on my low back, which we're going to work a little later in this video, this workout. Okay, that's enough. So it doesn't matter whether you use your right arm or your left, we're going to do both sides. So the first exercise is called the pulley. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to reach up the best I can with that arm, whichever arm you're using. Reach up as high as you can and just bring it back down. And see how that feels? Reach up and bring it back down. And reach up and bring it back down. Now, if you have any kind of a problem already with your shoulder, Maybe it's beginning to be a frozen shoulder, or maybe you have some kind of a tear in your rotator cuff. You might only be going up a little bit and coming down. Maybe a little bit more coming down. But let's just suppose we haven't got those problems yet, so we're going to reach way up and come back down. Reach way up, come back down. How many of these would you do? Maybe 10, maybe 12, whatever you think, okay? So let's try the other side now. So let's relax that one, shake it out a little bit, and just reach up. Straighten the arm the best you can. So it's down here at your waist, at your side, I mean, and then you're going to reach straight up. I'm not coming up on the balls of my feet. I'm just reaching up to see how high I can get it. This is the pulley. Let's do one more of those. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our arms and put them right here. And the one's coming up. So as this one comes up and comes down, the other one goes up and comes down. So we're like this. Working them both together. Doing the pulley. And maybe 10, 12. Take your time. Everybody's different. And when you slow your exercise down, you can focus better on what you're up to here and what exact positions you need with those body parts. Okay, one more. So that's the pulley. Now the pendulum, we're just going to relax for a sec, shake everything out. I'm going to just bend over a little bit here. Just bend over a little bit. Now I'm going to let one arm just dangle. Get my head in neutral. I don't want to look up. I have to look up to look at you, but just get your head in neutral. And just one hand goes on your quad for support, and the other one's just dangling there. And we're going to let it swing back and forth. So it's just that arm that's moving from the shoulder down to the fingertips, and we're watching it do the pendulum. Back and forth. Okay? And then let's go front and back with it. Pendulum that way. And you might think, this is silly. This isn't enough exercises for me. I need something a little bit harder. This is great for your shoulder. Do this every chance you get. Okay, let's make circles now with that arm. Slow is better. Just relax the fingers. Go the other way. My head's in neutral. I'm just looking down, watching the action of the pendulum. Good, good. Come back up slowly. Good. Stand up nice and tall. All right, I'm going to put this hand on this quad. I'm going to lean over, get my head in neutral there. I don't want to strain my neck in any way, and just go back and forth with the arm. The pendulum on the other side. Take your time. Good. Now front and back. So I'm not really bending my legs at the knees. I'm standing pretty tall, but when I bend over like this, I'm working my hamstrings on the back of my legs. Okay, I want to circle now with that arm. So it's all good, but it's really the shoulder that I'm focusing on with this pendulum. Go the other way with your circles. Good, and slow down, and then slowly come up, put your hands on your quads, and slowly bring your body back up so you're nice and straight. Okay, now is we're going to do the row. So I'm going to bring my feet back into that warrior position. So one foot is pointing straight ahead, and the other one's on a 45-degree angle, and they're apart. I'm going to rest with the forearm on the quad, put the other arm down here, and then just pretend I'm holding on to something, or I'm picking something up and I'm pulling it up to my armpit, and then go back down slowly and then pull it up. So I'm rowing. And since this workout today is about the low back and the shoulders, two very complicated locations in your body, we'll call them locations. When I bend like this and I'm resting on my quad with my forearm, I'm working my low back. It's stabilizing me to be able to do the row here. And one more. Okay, I'm gonna put the other hand on the quad, put that hand on the quad and push myself up slowly. And then I'm switching sides. And then rest at the front here with my forearm. Let my arm dangle there and grab a hold of something and pull it up to my armpit. And my head's in neutral. Yeah, that low back, that lumbar spine has the biggest vertebrae in your body. Like they're very tiny little bones in your spine up by your neck. And then as they come down, they get bigger. And at the bottom there, just above your waist, your hips there, the vertebrae are very big. And they have a lot of responsibility. And wait a minute, I'll do one more row here. Good. Hand on my quad, other hand on my quad, and I'm slowly pushing myself up. Let's shake our arms out. And let's swing them a little bit. Swing them right. Good. Maybe we'll go up a little higher. And back a little further. Right. All right, we're going to do this aptly scratch, it's called. So I'm going to take my one hand, let's say it's this one, and I'm going to reach over my head here, behind my neck, and try to get my shoulder there and give it a little scratch. And come back out. Okay? So let's try the other one. So just grab use this hand and reach behind your head to the shoulder on the other side of your body and give it a little scratch. Okay, relax. Let's try the other side again. Behind your head, reach down to where that shoulder is. Give it a little scratch. And then back. And this one. Good, good, good. Now I'm going to take my this arm here, this hand here, and then reach up behind and get to the bottom of the shoulder blade on that side. Scratch right back there. And relax, and then this hand, this arm, I'm going to reach up, scratch the bottom of my shoulder blade on that side. And good, I'll do it one more time. I'm just going to look at the camera and do it. It's like that, and scratch. Just like that, and scratch. And to finish off the aptly scratch, by the way, physiotherapists and other healthcare providers use this as a test to see how your shoulders, the health of your shoulders are. Right, so let me try this again. So when I reach over and try to scratch, notice my palm is scratching and my palm is facing my shoulders, my palm, and this way it's the back of my hand. That's the difference. It's not like that. I'm not twisting my wrist. This and this. Palm, palm. Okay? And then just to finish the aptly scratch test off here, I'm going to reach over with the one and up with the other and see if I can get my fingers together. Scratch. This is as close as I can get. How about this side? So, palm, knuckles. The aptly scratch. Yes, I'm down on my mat here, and I'm going to, first of all, get on my hands and knees with my palms below my shoulders and my feet are back there, see them? And I'm going to put the tops of my toes on the ground. All right? Good. And then I'm going to look up, and when I look up, I do a pelvic tilt. I push my hips like that so that I push them down and up. It's kind of weird, but I'm creating a saddle here. And I'm looking up and I'm going to hold it, and that's the cow position, or call it whatever you want. And don't hold it too long. And then I bring my hips forward, and as I bring my hips forward, I bring my chin to my chest and I round my back like a cat. So I'm like this. And don't hold that too long either. Just slowly go back into the cow. So create the saddle in your lumbar area and look up with your head the best you can, working that neck. Remember the owl exercise at the beginning. Bring some more flexibility into your neck. So then I slowly, when I'm ready, go back into the cat, bringing my hips forward, round my back. Bring my chin way down to my chest. And then when I'm ready, go back into the cow. And of course, you guys are all doing the deep breathing at the same time, right? So as you're doing the moving, you're breathing by blowing out. And then when you get to the position, when you're in the cat here, for example, you're going to breathe in. And then when you're done breathing in, you're going to go back into the cow by blowing out. So the movement is the blowing out part. The breathing in is when you're holding it. So not only are we working our shoulders and the upper back, but we're working our lower back at the same time. Pretty good. This is a great exercise. Okay, that's your cow cat. The next one is the bird dog. So the bird dog, we're in the same position, the table position. We're just going to take one hand off the mat and reach with our fingertips so that the arm is parallel to the ground. Now, to do this, you're going to have to readjust your body so that you feel comfortable. And lower this shoulder on the side of the arm that's straight out. Lower it down a little tiny bit. Good, and then don't hold it too long. Just get your hand down there on the mat and spread those fingers apart. And the index finger should be the one that's going straight ahead. It's the lead. But the fingers, the digits down there are all apart. Okay, when you're ready, get the other arm straight out. Reach with the fingertips. Lower that shoulder on that side a little tiny bit until you feel comfortable. And you can breathe normally, or you can try to do the deep breathing as you hold it there. Okay, back down again. All right, this time I'm going to take the one arm straight out and take the opposite leg straight out behind and put my toes down on the floor and hold it there. Lower the shoulder a little bit on the arm that's straight out. Good, I'm going to come back to where I was, and then I'm put the other arm straight out and then get the leg straight out with the toes touching the floor. Lower the shoulder on the arm that's straight out. Good, and don't hold it too long, come back. Okay, got that? Now this time I'm going to take the arm straight out and the leg straight out, and then I'm going to lift the leg off the floor a little bit so it's not touching, and hold it, and then put the foot down, like the toe down, and bring the arms and the knee back there in the table position again. The other side, straight out, leg straight out, lift the leg, lower that shoulder on the arm too, by the way, I forgot to tell you that. You want to have, you know, some water on top of your back there in a cup that isn't spilling. Good, and then put down everything back to where it was. Okay, so we'll call it, that's enough for the pointer dog. You can make that even harder, but let's just leave it at that today. And let's do the next one here we're going to do is the resting child. So I'm going to take my hands and bring them way out in front of me so they're on an angle, maybe 45 degrees. I'm going to get my knees a little bit wider than they were. I'm going to put my toes on top of the other toes, so the tops of, like the knuckles of my toes are touching the ground and each other. Okay, and then I'm going to push my hips way back into my heels and lower my armpits down as far as I can go, and briefly hold it there. and breathe away, and then come back up slowly. And when I get up to where I started, I straighten my lower legs, and then I look up and lower my belly button to the ground and do a little bit of a back arch. My belly button doesn't touch the floor. Yours might, mine doesn't. And then I'm holding that briefly, and then I'm going to go back into the resting child. That was the cobra. Back into the resting child. So overlap your toes and put your hips way back into your heels and lower your armpits. Your hands don't move. We'll hold it a little bit longer this time. Breathe away there. Good. And then we're going to come up slowly, straighten out our lower legs, and put the belly button on the floor. Arms are straight. Arch your back a little bit. And go back into your table. Move your hands again below your shoulders. Bring your knees in a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go into a plank position. So we're going to take one forearm and put it down. And then we're going to take the other forearm and put it down. Now that might be as far as you're going. Let's come back up the way we came. So we just take the one hand and put it below our shoulder and push the other hand. And there we go. So I don't care which arm goes down, but the forearm's going to be touching. And we're in the plank position. Good. Let's take one leg and straighten it out and balance on our toe there. Okay, bring that back in. Put the knee down. Straighten the other leg. Put the toe down. And hold it and then bring it in. Let's try taking one leg out and get that toe there, the balls of your feet, the toes on the ground, nice and secure. Because here comes the other one, and this is the hard part. Lift the other leg and put the toes down. So now you're in a plank position. Make sure your body is like a board. Your bum's not up in the air. You're not sagging with the belly button. Okay, I'm going to lower my belly down. My legs and my belly, lower body are touching. Good, 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 good. Now I'm going to turn on my side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn my arm so it's going that way, like an equal sign there, instead of having them straight. They're on the side there, and then I'm going to turn onto my hip on that side. Okay, so I'm in this position here. So take the top leg and put it on the ground in front of the other leg. Now, if you want, when you lift this hip up, if you want, you're going to be pushing down with this arm here. Make sure that the shoulder is above the elbow, so I better bring it in a little bit. Good. I'm going to be pushing down with my forearm, and maybe pushing down with this hand. I think I'm going to have to. And pushing down with my feet, just to get the hips up a little bit. There you go. 1, 2, 3, and down. Let's try that again. Push, push with this, push with this, push with the feet. Let's go up. 1, 2, 3, and down. Now here's the secret. Lots of people can do this, but when you get yourself up, I want you to push your whole body, especially the hips, forward a little bit. So I'm going to come up and then push them forward a little bit, and then come down and rest. We'll do that one more time. So I'm going to go up and then push my hips forward. So up, push forward, and hold it. You might be good enough to get the arm over the head. I don't think so. I'm going to hold on here and come down. So I have to do it on the other side, so you'll be seeing me flip over here. So I'm back into this kind of position. I get this arm like this, get the elbow below my shoulder, and then I sort of adjust myself so I'm in a side plank like this. Legs are stacked. Put the one foot in front of the other one. Make sure I'm in a nice straight line from all the way down from my head right down to my feet. Nice straight line. Okay, so I'm going to make sure the elbows below the shoulder. I'm going to push with my forearm, push with my feet, push with this hand, and lift my hips up, and push my hips forward, and down I come. When I'm ready, and by the way, don't hold your breath. Take a deep breath in and blow out when you do the movement part, and then come down. So breathe, big breath in. Here we go, blow out. Hips forward. And then I run out of breath, so I come down slowly. We'll do it one more time. So I'm pushing with the sides of my feet. I'm pushing with my forearm. My shoulder is protected with the elbow below it. Pushing with my hand. Take the deep breath in. Here I go, blow out. Hips forward. And down I go. Now, what I'd like you to do is just to turn over so that you're sort of in this position. So I've got my elbows below my shoulders, and then I'm going to very, very slowly lower my back to the mat and put my head on the mat. And if you need a little pillow, well, if you don't have one, it's too late. But a little pillow would bring your head up a little bit to maintain the best posture. But let's just try it like this today. Next time, get yourself a pillow. All right, so I'm going to do the pancake. So I'm going to take my hands and put them underneath my low back, my lumbar spine area, to maintain my posture. I don't want to push my low back into the floor. That's why the hands are there. I take one leg, bend it, and put the foot down. That supports my low back even more. And then this straight leg here, I'm going to flex my foot. That means pull the toes toward the head, flex the foot. That will tighten up my calf muscle right here. And then I'm going to push my knee down into the floor. That'll tighten up my hamstrings and my quads. I'm going to squeeze my bum on that side too. I need those glute muscles to be tight on that side of the straight leg. And when I'm ready, I'm going to lift my head up, just my head, a little tiny bit. My chin is off my chest. I'm looking straight up. It's in neutral, and then down I go. Then I relax everything on that side. I bend the leg. I switch legs, flex the foot. That means the toes come toward my head. Push the knee into the floor. Tighten up my bum on that side. And then when I'm ready, I take a deep breath in and I blow out as I lift my head straight up just a little bit. The legs don't come off the floor. They're doing their job, trying to make sure everything's tight. So here goes the breath in. Blow out. When I run out of breath, my head comes back down. I'm ready to do the other side one more time. So you know what to do. And here we go. This is called the pancake. Last time on the other side. You ready? Once everything's tight, breath in. The head's only coming up a little bit. And then down we go. Good work. So now I'm going to take my arms out. I bent, both my legs are bent, my feet are flat. Take my arms out. Oh, good work. Good work. Now I'm going to push my low back by doing a pelvic tilt. Push my low back into the floor. Arms are at my side, relaxing here. And then relax and let the natural curve of your low spine there happen. And then let's try it again. Pelvic tilt. Push the low back in. And relax. And one more time, just push the low back in, pelvic tilt. And relax. Good work. I'm going to turn over my side, doesn't matter which side. And when I'm ready, I'm going to sit myself up using my arms and my shoulders, of course. Good. Let's turn myself around here. And we're going to finish off with a couple of stretches. We're going to do the piriformis stretch. The piriformis stretch starts in your low back, your lumbar spine, and goes through the back of your body, through your bum, and connects to the big bone in your upper leg. And that needs to be stretched to make sure that your low back is strong. So I'm going to get myself down again, very slowly. Whatever way you want to get down, you get down. I'm going to get down again. And I'm going to lift my head up just because I want to look at you and talk. But what you're going to do is put your head down, either on the pillow or not on the pillow. And we're going to cross our legs over above the knee. And then we're going to lift our legs off the ground. This is the piriformis stretch. So if this is the leg that's going over top of that one, above the knee, then the piriformis on that side is what you're stretching. So I'll lie down here now like this. I got my one leg over top of the other one, and I lift my legs off the ground. And if you can only lift them a little bit, that's fine. But you'll feel it in your low back. So lift. You'll feel it in your bum too. Maybe lift a little bit more. Maybe even grab on the outside of your legs and pull in. Maybe take this arm and take it through here and grab and pull in. Maybe take this arm through here or under there or wherever you want and pull in. I like my hands on the outside of my legs and pull in. You'll feel it. You'll know where your piriformis is if you get yourself into this position. And how long do you hold it? You hold it for as long as you can, which might be 2 minutes, which is the ideal to get the most bang for your buck here. Okay, down it goes. So do the other side. You're just going to lift this leg. One leg's bent. Lift this leg over top, above the knee. Lift them off the ground. Put your head down, relax, and hold it there. Or grab a hold of the outside and pull the whole shebang in. And you'll feel it in your piriformis right there. You need that muscle to be strong. I'm listening to the chipmunks. They're sending me a message saying, good for you, you're exercising your piriformis. Now to do our psoas muscle, which connects the front of our body. So the top of our body to the bottom of our body at the front is the psoas muscle. And to stretch that one, I'm going to get myself from this position up a little bit, hands and knees, and then up like this. So I'm going to bring this foot forward and lean into the front of my foot there with my knee over top of my foot. I'll show it to you from this angle. If you need to hold on to something, good. But you're trying to stretch the psoas muscle in the front, connecting this part of your body to the bottom part of your body through the front of your hips, right there. Make sure your knee is over top of your foot, not to the sides. The farther you push that leg back, the more you're stretching it. Psoas muscle, PSOAS, psoas. You've heard of the iliopsoas. It's all to do with the hip. Psoas muscle. The upper part of your body, you're not leaning forward like this. You're trying to keep it straight. Let's try the other side. Get there any way you can safely. So this leg here, I'm going to bring it forward a little bit more and then push the knee over top of the foot. Keep the upper body straight. You'll feel it in the psoas muscle. Piriformis in the back, psoas in the front, connecting the upper to the lower part of the body through the bum and the hips. The psoas muscle. And how long do you hold it? You know. The bird's going, yep, that's right. What do you think it is? Cardinal? That's what I think it is. Those red birds. Congratulating us. This is how we're ending our day today. We're not going to do a meditation, but you can meditate. It might be just sitting in your backyard listening to the birds and the chipmunks, thinking about all the wonderful things about nature. Good. Can we get out of this somehow? You can get up any way you want. Just have a great day. See you next time.